How do you stay fit with 2 kids, a wife, a full-time job? To be honest with you, it's a little bit easier than most would lead you to believe. I follow just a few rules and it seems to work well for me. The biggest one is I try to do something every day, whether that's some sort of strength work or some sort of cardio work. I don't ever want to skip a day. 30-minute minimum is fine. I shoot for about an hour, so I do 30 minutes of strength work and then 30 minutes of cardio. And sometimes I have to break that up in the morning and then the afternoon, morning, evening. It's kind of annoying, but at the same time, once you build that habit enough, it just becomes second nature. And I've experimented with many different styles of training. I really did enjoy barbell training, but you can only do that like 4 or 5 times a week before you really start to fry your CNS. The work I'm doing now is mostly body weight training, so I can afford to go 7 days a week, especially if you split up your muscle groups. And yeah, it's a great strategy for me, especially because you can carve out 30 minutes with a busy schedule if you just sacrifice 30 minutes of sleep. It's all good. Number 2 is I cook most of my food, and because I cook most of my food, I eat mostly clean. So rice, potatoes, chicken, beef, some combination of those 4 ingredients with vegetables is the majority of my diet. I don't avoid pasta or anything like that. I just enjoy white rice more. But I try to eat clean and focus on protein heavy meals. And that's really it. Don't count calories, don't track macros. I don't have any interest in it, so I just go with what I feel. I do, on top of cooking most of my food, I'll throw in a day or 2 a week where I'll only have 1 or 2 meals a day. Really depends on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I don't get hungry till 2, sometimes I don't get hungry till 5. So I'll just eat 1 big meal at the end of the day. And the biggest thing with that is just try to avoid snacking. It's really tough when you're first getting into skipping meals, because after dinner, that nighttime hunger kicks in, especially when you're watching some reality TV and you're like, man, I could really go for like a beer, some popcorn, some chips, maybe a bowl of ice cream, who knows? If you fight that urge and don't cave in for like 2 weeks in a row, eventually you'll realize you can just go to sleep and you'll wake up not that hungry. And then lastly, one of the many reasons I work out is not only to live a longer, healthier life and be fit for my kids and their kids as they have children, decades from now. But I want to be able to enjoy just some beers in the garage with the boys from time to time, maybe every weekend, who knows? And I don't have any guilt about that right now because I'm not putting on weight. I've actually lost close to 40 pounds from my heaviest, and it just seems to be a really good system right now. I don't really drink too much throughout the week. Maybe if we go out to dinner, I'll have maybe an IPA or whatever's on draft at the local pizza place, but save most of it for the weekend. And then, sometimes when you've got a pork butt or a brisket on the grill and 18 hours to kill, it just makes sense, especially down here in Texas. So you gotta have a little fun with it. But again, I don't track anything. I don't follow any specific diet. I just know that when you're eating healthy, when you're not eating healthy. And I can look at my meals over the last couple days and think, okay, yeah, I did pretty darn good with the exception of Saturday when I had a couple too many beers. But again, that's part of the strategy. So really staying fit comes down to, with children, a wife, a job, sacrificing that extra 30 minutes of sleep or carving it out. Maybe you go to bed 30 minutes later, get up 30 minutes earlier. Maybe you have an hour lunch where you can squeeze in a walk, some push-ups, whatever. Just find a way to build that healthy habit. And then once you've built the habit of moving your body, then start removing the garbage from your diet, eating clean, trying to do most of your cooking, but also leave room for enjoyment. Like, I'm not gonna skip on, queso and mozzarella sticks if we're going to Chili's. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna get the bacon rancher. I'm gonna get an extra side of ranch to dunk my fries in. Maybe there's gonna be a triple dipper with some mozzarella sticks, some egg rolls, who knows? I kind of wanna go to Chili's now, but my point is, don't overcomplicate the stuff. Like, you're not a bad person if you fall off the wagon for a day or 2 and miss your diet or whatever the case is. I'm not training for any specific fitness competition, bodybuilding show. I'm training so my joints don't hurt, I don't get fat, and I can live into my 80s and 90s. So you can afford some bad when you do mostly good. Beef slop.